Hello, Mayor Keller. Thank you very much for letting me present this to you. My name is Kevin Perea, and I'm going to be explaining why Albuquerque is to host the 2026 FIBA Under 19 Basketball World Cup. Now, what is the FIBA Under 19 Basketball World Cup, you may ask? Well, this is a World Cup, formerly the FIBA Under 19 World Championship. It is a men's Under 19 only world basketball competition organized by the International Basketball Federation, aka FIBA. Now, it's been around since 1979, but until 2007, it was held every 4 years. Now, since 2007, it's been held biannually. Now, what's the rationale behind this event? Well, this is a great event to host because showcases the international best young basketball players from all around the world, all the way from Korea, all the way back to the good old US of A. It has the best basketball players up and coming that you will see in the NBA coming up. And it's an event that can help Albuquerque introduce international sports and relations to New Mexico. Um, we love our basketball here in Albuquerque, as I'm going to keep repeating in the state of New Mexico. We love basketball here, and this is an event. It's a great event. It's something that we can host. It's something that's doable. It's something that we can definitely put on and put a show on for. Continuing, Albuquerque has, like I said before, Albuquerque has this rich basketball tradition. We've hosted many basketball tournaments, including the 1983 NCAA Basketball Championship, when Jim Valvano, rest in peace, won his national championship. We have hosted yearly NMAA state basketball championships, which is a our own personal March Madness, if you will. As you know, Espanola Valley loves their basketball, and Espanola Valley, we have a whole town, northern New Mexican town, migrate in March from Espanola to Albuquerque to watch their boys and girls play in that state championship basketball tournament. And also, we've hosted D League games, now G League games, but that is the AAA of basketball, if you will. So it's the NBA feeder league, and we have hosted the Albuquerque Thunderbirds for a number of years. No longer here now, and they were actually the first D League um, champions that we've hosted. So we have plenty of experience in hosting basketball events and basketball tournaments under our belt. That is not an issue. We know how to run basketball tournaments. We know how to run them correctly. We know how to do them right, and we can do this with the FIBA Under 19 Basketball World Cup as well. Now, as you know, FIBA is an international event. This is an international sporting event. Well, where does that experience come in from? How do we get that experience? Well, as you know, Mayor Keller, Albuquerque has great experience and has the infrastructure to host such an event as an international event because we host the Balloon Fiesta every year, which is the world's largest international ballooning event. Um, we host it year in and year out. We have the committee, the infrastructure, the understanding of how to host an international event, and a big one at that. The Balloon Fiesta is the one of the pride and joys, and if not the pride and joy of Albuquerque and New Mexico events. It's something that our people look forward to every year, our locals and the international tourists look forward to as well. We have balloons that come from all over the world, all the way from Germany and China, and as close to home as our own Rainbow Riders here in town. Now, how would we host this event? How would we do it? Well, Albuquerque and the surrounding areas, such as Rio Rancho and Bernalillo and South Valley, um, it's totally suitable to host the FIBA Under 19 Basketball World Cup. And due to several venues we already have to be staples as arenas, we have three main arenas. Um, as you know, we have the Pit, which is one of the most recognized basketball arenas in the nation. The Pit is legendary in the NCAA realm of basketball, and it is a fantastic place to watch a game. We have Tingley Coliseum, and we also have Santa Ana Star Center, which that one is in Rio Rancho, and we have these three events, these three arenas that have hosted basketball events throughout the years. Uh, Also, Albuquerque has great transportation and local bus companies such as Herrera Coaches to help support and transport players to and from arenas and hotels. As you can see from our map, we are a fairly big city as far as area goes. We're not maybe as dense as a New York or a Los Angeles, but we definitely have a large area to cover. And Albuquerque's Herrera Coaches can definitely help transport our international players to and from where they need to be. Going back to our arenas, as you can see on the top, we have the Pit, now Dreamstyle Arena. That's our University of Mexico, and it is just such a fantastic place. And this is going to be our cornerstone in hosting this event. It's been newly renovated within the past 5 years. It's state of the art. It's got everything that you need: renovated bathrooms, seats, a great new court. It has monitors and teleprompters. It has everything you need. It has new suites in there. So awesome. On the bottom left here, we have Santa Ana Star Center, which was built in 2007 and is fairly modern. There may need to be a few tweaks with Santa Ana, but it's fairly ready to go. As you can see right now, it helps host the NMAA state basketball tournament every single year. And it's good to go. It has plenty of space. It also has suites, not quite as big as the Pit, but it can definitely do the job. And off to the right here, we have good old Tingley Coliseum, good old trusty. Tingley has hosted events of many kind, including the Albuquerque Thunderbirds, legendary concerts from Metallica to all these different bands that's hosted back in the day. It's hosted monster truck rallies and so on and so forth. But with that being said, we'll get to Tingley in a little bit and talk more about that. First, before anything, let's talk about the bid process. Okay, so Mayor, the bid process is fairly standard when it comes to this international event and bidding for a hosting site in a hosting city. First and foremost, FIBA sends requests for expression of interest to all of its national federations in August. The United States is a national federation that is recognized by FIBA and thus is recognized on a biannual basis for hosting. Number two, the national federations must confirm their interest by August 31st. We have to go to our national federation in the United States and we have to implore them that we are wanting to host this event and convince them first before anybody. We are ready to host this event. We are good to host this event before we even get to FIBA. So after that, if we express our interest, we convince the United States that we're good to go. We'll be doing the applicant phase, okay? And we had to have a very strong application expressing the very finalities of how we're going to do this and the intricacies of how we can host such a great event such as this. With our experience from the Balloon Fiesta, our experience hosting the NCAA March Madness tournament, and so on and so forth. After the applicant phase, if we are so lucky to proceed to the candidate phase, we will be able to present such as this in a setting like this where we can go to the committee of FIBA and present our case to being a host site for the 2026 FIBA Under 19 World Championships. Now, FIBA Central Board will announce the host of FIBA World Basketball Cup for 2026 at its end of the year meeting in 2020. Key players involved with FIBA and the executive committee is the first one off the top. As you can see, this is FIBA's executive committee, all working together, different languages, different nations, working together to put on such a great event such as this for these young players and young athletes that we are so gracious to see put on such a performance. Next, we have the FIBA Regional Committee, and we have the National Federation, such as the United States. And like I said, we have to work from the bottom up here, not top bottom. We have to go to the United States National Federation, then go to the FIBA Regional Committee and submit our case and our application, which will then get to the Executive Committee, which then can be candidate phase. So, what do we need to do? What are some recommendations that we need to do in order to get ready for this? Well, we have the pit, we have Santa Ana Star Center. Those are great venues and arenas. Um, we can rely on our Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta infrastructure for international hosts. We have plenty of hotels, we have plenty of transportation available, so on and so forth. That is not the problem. We have a great marketing department um, with the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta that can definitely help with that. But the thing that we need to focus on to put a strong bid is Tingley Coliseum needs to be desperately remodeled. It is old, trusty, rusty. It hosts event year in and year out. It hosts monster truck rallies, like I said before. It hosts graduations for all of our local high schools here in town. It hosts concerts. It hosts so many different things and is such a Swiss Army knife, but it is terribly outdated. Terribly, terribly outdated for an event such as pristine as the FIBA Under 19 World Basketball Championships. We need to get this renovated, and it's in dire need of it anyway. It needs paint. It needs good scoreboards. It needs good screens. It needs good video. It needs good press boxes. So this is something that we can heavily invest in. It'll be for the tournament, yes, but then this arena can become something that we can use for further use for many different events going forward in other sporting events. In summary, um, FIBA Under 19 Basketball World Cup is an event that would be a huge step in Albuquerque's return to hosting fantastic national and now international sporting events. This international tournament can put Albuquerque and Mexico on the international sports map. It can bring much needed tourism and revenue to our city, and that has been yearning for, especially this year, 2020. We lost the Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta. We're not able to host this. So this is something that can help recover that revenue that we have lost and we're counting on. Um, we already have hosted great events, basketball events, sporting events in history. We've already said NMA basketball tournaments, state basketball tournaments. We hosted D League professional teams before, and we have hosted March Madness right here, one of the biggest basketball events in all of the world, and we've helped host that successfully. We are built to host this international event because we have the infrastructure for it with our Balloon Fiesta community that hosts this event year in and year out and deals with international relations. And this is something that we can lean on as a cornerstone to present our bid and have the infrastructure to have such a successful um, basketball World Cup. Uh, Thank you, Mayor Keller, for letting me do this. Thank you for letting me present this to you. This is a great event that we can host, that we're capable of hosting and are ready to host. Believe it or not, as crazy as that sounds, we have the infrastructure already pre-built in. It's in our blood internationally. It's in our blood with the sport of basketball, and something that our community, not only in Albuquerque, but in the state, will rally around. Thank you very much, and we will see you next time.